I've always been kind of a natural leader. I bring the energy, I bring the feistiness, I'm a little bit sassy.
Down to 5. Cunningham tries to create and knocks down a 3.
Got it. Top of the arc passes, right wing. Sophie catch and shoot. Got it.
When we can just go out there and have fun and be competitors and feed off of each other, it's just easy.
Pass to the foul line. Passes up top. Sophie for 3. Oh, yeah! Cunningham from distance.
Most WNBA stars post bikinis. Sophie Cunningham? She posts knockouts, on and off the court. Scroll through her Instagram and you'll see beach photos, fashion shoots, a truly glamorous lifestyle. The Sophie Cunningham you see on social media is real, no doubt.
You know what? I think it's awesome because when we were growing up, we got all the men, like, hand-me-downs. Like, we got all their baggy shirts and shorts. We're like, no, like, let us, like, play really hard, but also get girly stuff. And so I think that's, like, the really fun part about it, too.
But it's only half the story. The other half involves martial arts, high school football, and a brutal level of toughness that most people never even come close to developing. Today, we're exposing the untold journey of Sophie Cunningham, revealing the hidden crucible that forged her into the unstoppable force she is today. You might think you know her, but what you're about to discover will shatter all your assumptions.
Furthermore, Sophie's not afraid of anybody because she got a black belt in Taekwondo at 6 years old. And I know that sounds insane because when I first saw that, I was like, there's no way. I didn't even know you could get a black belt at 6 years old. So I had to look it up. I had to be sure. And in her Mizzou bio, it says, earned a black belt in Taekwondo at 6 years old. Like, what? Which perfectly explains why when everything went down last night, she put JC Shelton immediately in the clinch position. And she was literally on the football team in high school. Like, here she is on her senior day wearing a sash that says homecoming candidate. Oh yeah, I'm not surprised that the woman who has a black belt in Taekwondo and played football in high school isn't afraid to stick up for her teammates.
This story begins not on a basketball court, but in a martial arts dojo. While other kids were still mastering tricycles, Sophie Cunningham was breaking boards. She earned her black belt in Taekwondo at just 6 years old. Let that sink in. Not a junior belt, not some participation trophy given out to toddlers, an actual black belt that required years of grueling discipline, a level of focus most adults can't handle. Her parents weren't trying to create a child prodigy athlete. They were instilling control. That martial arts training wasn't about aggression, it was about channeling it. Sophie learned to stay calm when people tried to hurt her, to think clearly under pressure, and to strike only when necessary. 1 hour in the driveway always ended up with slamming doors and crying and fighting. Sophie once confessed about playing basketball with her sister. But then we only had each other, so 5 minutes later we'd be like, "You want to go back out there and play?" That's not normal sibling rivalry. That's combat training disguised as family time. This foundational discipline, as explained by the Martial Arts Foundation, underpins everything about how Sophie approaches competition today. She doesn't just play basketball, she studies opponents, controls her reactions, and strikes when the moment's absolutely right. Most people see the Instagram posts and assume she's just another pretty athlete playing a game. But that childhood foundation? It was about to get a lot more intense.
Subaru, the wise choice. Stick. The kick is good. And it's son of Brian and Kim England. Please give the entire court a big show of appreciation for the service and dedication to Rockridge.
This is fancy.
Yeah.
What? So good. So good. That was
In 2014, a shocking twist hit Rockbridge High School. Their starting kicker tore his ACL right before playoffs. Sophie Cunningham, basketball star, homecoming queen candidate, said yes before she'd ever even touched a football. The local newspaper immediately called it historic. Sophie Cunningham became the first female in Rockbridge High School history to score for the varsity football team. Picture homecoming night. Sophie gets announced as a homecoming queen candidate, waves to the adoring crowd in her dress, then changes into full football pads to kick extra points. What's more nerve-wracking, she was once asked, putting down 2 free throws at the end of a close game, or kicking a field goal? Her answer, without hesitation,
More nerve-wracking having to put down 2 free throws at the end of a close game or kick a field goal.
Kick a field goal. Kick a field goal.
kick a field goal. Kick a field goal. This wasn't a publicity stunt. She stayed with the team through their entire playoff run. Most athletes specialize early, dedicating their lives to one sport. Sophie was collecting experiences most people never even consider. The message was already clear. If you need something done, Sophie will figure out how to do it. But that was nothing compared to what was truly happening at home. The Cunningham household wasn't a normal family. It was a systematic, relentless training facility. Her father, Jim, played football at the University of Missouri. Her mother threw javelin at the same school. Her sister, Lindsay, became a basketball star at Missouri. Her grandma played basketball and softball. Her grandpa and uncle played football. Her aunt played basketball. This family tree doesn't just read like a college sports roster. It reads like a competitive battle royale. Sophie and Lindsay had what Sophie herself calls bloody battles in their driveway. The sisters would play one-on-one basketball until elbows connected with faces, knees collided, and someone was bleeding. Then they'd take a 5-minute break and do it again. Most families have house rules about not hitting your siblings. The Cunninghams had rules about hitting your siblings effectively. Jim Cunningham wasn't just raising daughters, he was training competitors. Every family dinner included intense discussions about technique, strategy, and mental toughness. Every weekend involved some form of athletic competition. When other families went to the movies, the Cunninghams went to sporting events. When other kids got participation trophies, Sophie and Lindsay got critiques on their performance. This wasn't dysfunction, it was systematic preparation for a world where second place means absolutely nothing. Sophie learned early that being good at something meant being comfortable with pain, comfortable with conflict, and comfortable with the idea that someone is always trying to beat you. That ruthless foundation shaped everything that came next. But the real test, the ultimate proving ground, was still coming. At the University of Missouri, Sophie didn't just play basketball, she absolutely dominated. She became the all-time leading scorer with a staggering 2,187 points. She was a 3-time All-SEC first-team selection. During her senior season, she was the only player in the entire nation to average 17 points, grab 200 rebounds, hit 83 pointers, and make 150 free throws. That's not just well-rounded, that's systematic excellence. She graduated with a sport management degree and a communications minor, shrewdly setting herself up for broadcasting. Off the court, she organized fundraisers, visited children's hospitals, and worked with the Special Olympics. The woman was everywhere, doing everything, excelling at everything. Most college athletes focus solely on their sport and hope for the best. Sophie was meticulously building a portfolio for whatever came next, systematically mastering every challenge she faced. And yet, the one thing people still get wrong about her might be the most important. This is where Sophie Cunningham's lifestyle gets truly interesting. Scroll through her Instagram and you'll see beach trips to Miami, professional photo shoots with major brands, and the glamorous side of professional athletics. Nearly 150,000 followers are watching someone who looks like she belongs in Vogue, not a martial arts dojo. One week, she's posting pictures in designer dresses at charity galas. The next week, she's in the gym at 5 a.m., running drills that would make most people quit. The very same hands that hold Chanel purses once broke boards in martial arts competitions. The same legs that pose gracefully in designer jeans once kicked field goals while 250-pound linebackers tried to level her. Her morning routine tells the real story. While most people are checking social media, Sophie is often in the gym, doing strength training that incorporates martial arts movements. Her workout videos show someone who moves like a trained fighter, not just a basketball player. But then she'll spend the afternoon doing media interviews, discussing fashion choices, or working on her broadcasting skills for her post-playing career. Most athletes are one thing or another. Sophie is systematically both. She's built a lifestyle where toughness and femininity aren't contradictory, they're complementary. The confidence you see in her fashion shoots comes from knowing she can handle herself in any situation. The grace under pressure she shows in interviews comes from years of training to stay calm while people try to physically hurt her. Her social media isn't fake, it's strategic. She's showing people that you can be a complete person, that being an elite athlete doesn't mean sacrificing your personality or your appearance. The Instagram posts aren't the whole picture. But they're not a lie either. They're just one side of someone who refuses to be limited by other people's expectations. She posts beach photos because she likes the beach. She posts workout videos because she likes working out. She posts fashion shots because she likes fashion. The difference is that most people who post workout videos are showing off. Sophie is showing you Tuesday. But how does someone actually live this double life every single day?
You know what? I think it's awesome because when we were growing up, we got all the men like hand-me-downs. Like we got all their baggy shirts and shorts. We're like, no, like let us like play really hard, but also get girly stuff. And so I think that's like the really fun part about it too.
Today, Sophie Cunningham plays for the Indiana Fever, but her real impact extends far off the court. She's actively involved in hiring decisions for her old college program at Missouri, using her unique experience to identify recruits who genuinely have the mental toughness to succeed. She looks for players who remind her of herself, athletes who've been tested outside their comfort zones. Her mentoring work stretches to high school players across the country. She regularly video calls with young athletes, not to teach them basketball fundamentals, but to teach them how to handle pressure and stay true to themselves. You know what? I think it's awesome because when we were growing up, we got all the men like hand-me-downs. Like we got all their baggy shirts and shorts. We're like, no, like let us like play really hard, but also get girly stuff, she said, reflecting on her path. But Sophie admits the journey wasn't always smooth. During her rookie year in the WNBA, she struggled with the intense pressure to fit into a box. Coaches wanted her to focus only on basketball. Sponsors wanted her to be only glamorous. She felt like she was losing pieces of herself. In the league that I'm like, why am I here? Am I really supposed to be here? It is hard. Sometimes you don't have people that really are like you or believe in the same thing as you or on the same page as you. And it's really hard to be like the only one standing strong sometimes. That moment changed everything. She realized that her unique, multifaceted combination of experiences wasn't a weakness. It was her greatest strength. Her teammates often comment on her calmness in high-pressure situations, not realizing they're seeing 2 decades of training to stay composed when things get physical. When teammates need protection on the court, she provides it, not because she's angry, but because she's been trained for moments like that her entire life. The woman who started as a black belt kid from Missouri has become exactly what professional sports needs. Someone authentic who proves you don't have to sacrifice any part of yourself to succeed. Sophie Cunningham's lifestyle isn't what you think, because most people only see half the picture. They see the Instagram model, not the martial artist. They see the basketball player, not the high school football kicker. They see the pretty face, not the combat-trained competitor. Sophie didn't choose between toughness and style, or discipline and freedom. She built a life where she could be all of it. That's not just rare in sports, it's incredibly rare in life. Next time you see one of those glamorous Instagram posts, remember, you're looking at someone who's been preparing for battle her entire life. She just happens to look good doing it.